Saturday afternoon, June 25th already, for the QLXchange and Onex update. And JC, I'm going to hand it right over to you. Take it away.
Thank you, Annette. I appreciate everybody coming to the call. Today we're going to start out with something that goes back a little bit in my history. I was in the Air Force back in 1977, and I was taken because of the job that I was going to do. There was very high-level security, and we went through so many videos about, at that time, was the USSR, okay? I got to tell you, now that I'm married to a sweet Russian woman from Ukraine, born in Russia, that almost 90% of what we were told was propaganda. The dictionary refers to propaganda as chiefly derogatory information, especially of a biased or misleading nature used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Now, people, you've got to know that back at that time, the propaganda that was being spread in that area about us, okay, they thought that we were some kind of two-headed monsters, okay? And I'm just telling you, that is exactly what's going on out there. I was, in one part of my mind, I was so humored today by a old partner of mine, going back about 8 years. He said he had a call from somebody promoting this other program, okay, that is competing with us. And by the way, I love competition. I don't have a problem with competition, and we certainly have no patent on these ideas, okay? So, it's just the idea of like what Stella said the other day, of just playing, against the rules, okay, of good business etiquette. And I said to my friend, so, how things go and so forth. He said, you wouldn't believe it. I got this call. It was actually a telephone call of somebody marketing this other program. And he said, oh, no, I'm very, very much committed to Onex. And he said, oh, you don't want to do that. He said, why? He said, because the owners, they've gone to jail for fraud. And he said, jail? Fraud? What's their names? Well, we're not ready to disclose that, okay? These types of things would be so laughable if the problem was, because I don't care about me, okay? This is all about you. And if you're being misled by propaganda, then I feel sorry for you and what you're losing out on. About 3 weeks, a month ago, I was on quite a few calls with a gentleman that he hosted the calls. His name's Bob, good friend of mine, known me for a decade, told everybody that I was extremely ethical, and he was so glad to find out that I was at the head of this, okay? So, I assume that hasn't changed, okay, his opinion about me. But it is a situation where, like I said, you got to put things in proper perspective. Propaganda, okay? That's what it's all about. How many of you believe everything you read on the Internet? How many of you believe, or those who do believe everything they read on the Internet, I got to tell you, you're probably a big fan of the National Enquirer. And you sit there and read everything on the as you're going through the counter space at the grocery store, believing that everything that they're telling you there is absolutely true. Come on, people. Get some common sense, okay? The three people, the administrators of this program, have never been charged with anything, never been arrested. I mean, I had a pretty reckless teenage years, okay, but I was never arrested for anything. I got so much trouble because me and a few friends were wanting to steal a road sign off on some country road, wanted to put it in our bedroom. Somebody saw us, reported the driver's or the license plate. I caught so much trouble from my dad. My dad took me to the police office and had me talk to the sheriff. I'm telling you, I would have been a straight person my whole life anyway, okay? And I know that might surprise some of you that when I was 18 years old that I would do something like that, but, you know, we're crazy teenagers, okay? And, but I was never arrested. Never been, you know, more than a few speeding tickets in my life. And the people who know me know how honest and ethical I am. So please, put things in proper perspective. Don't listen to propaganda. It's not true. None of it's true. Okay? I will say this, though, and this is a fact, okay, that, and I'm not pointing out any companies, okay, at all right, at all. But we had another conversation with our lawyer yesterday, and he has, you know, been very familiar with everything that we're doing. But I just had an interesting conversation with him, and I said, you know, he's saying everything that we're doing is rock solid. Now, this is a lawyer that the attorney generals call for advice. He was the one that was called by the attorney general who put Excel down, okay, because Excel was selling product. Their product was training. The training was on their program on how to be successful with Excel, okay? Big problem. That should be free, okay? And that's exactly what this lawyer told him. That's who we're using, okay? And that company went down, okay, because of that. Okay, they couldn't, with the structure they had, they couldn't legalize it. So he, you know, took another review of everything. We wanted to do this before we took any money. And he said, yeah, you're fine with everything. But he said, I have to tell you that if Onex was by itself, you'd have problems. Now, I want to be clear what I'm saying here, okay? We don't have any problems, okay? He said if it was by itself, because he said, where is the company making money? And I said, well, and he said, no, don't worry about it. He said, well, you're doing the right thing. He said, all it is a fast start bonus for QLXchange, where it is all about product. That's what we're doing in QLXchange, talking about product. The Silver Savings Program, the investment program. He loves the fact that the investment program is not going to be QLXchange. It's going to be an independent company that the three administrators, one of which is on this call right now with me, okay, is going to own this independent company that's going to be under the extreme scrutiny of all the authorities that are in this country. Nothing offshore. It's right here. SEC is going to know about it. Everybody's going to know about it, and they're going to know who the owners are. Okay, so it's a situation where he said if Onex had been by itself, okay, it would not stand at all with the authorities. He said because, and if you go back to Onex.me and look at number 1, what does it say? QLXchange is the parent program, and that it's free to come into QLXchange, and that you can earn money without coming out of pocket What is Onex? It says it is the marketing arm for QLXchange, the marketing arm, and is considered a fast start bonus. See, he educated me really well as to what's legal and what's not legal. You can have some pretty creative plans with fast start bonuses. And it's a situation where with this, okay, he said it's a lost leader because what is its purpose? It's feeding QLXchange. That's what Onex is about. Now, we know it's a magnet. He understands it's a magnet. And we have great product for you. You're going to get your money's worth on $5 or 10 or 20, 40, all the way up to $640. You're going to get way more than what you pay for in our back office. It's all good educational training material that has nothing to do with our particular business. It's generic. The question would be is if it helps a real estate agent sell a home because of something that he read from our training materials, and it's a $200,000 home, how much is it worth to him? You can't argue those points, and lawyers know that, okay? So this is generic training that you're going to be getting from your back office. And you're going to get way more than your money's worth. And he's completely satisfied with that. Now, when I explain more and more about the fine details, because we've been adjusting a few things, okay, he just kept saying over and over again, perfect. You're doing exactly what you need to do to make sure that the authorities have no problem with this. So everything is good to go. We knew that. We wanted to make one final check with them before we took anybody's money, okay? So that, I just want you to know that we've done that, okay, because we've been making a lot of changes here lately, all good changes, but it's something that we just needed to make a final check to make sure we weren't doing anything wrong and would have the wind taken out of our sail. So we've done that. Now, and we have him on retainer, by the way, okay? He's not cheap, all right? We pay a monthly fee to keep him on retainer.